Welcome to this episode of WildlightTV. Firstly, an apology that we didn't upload last week. I was up in Auckland teaching a photography workshop with Eden. This week we're going to focus on autofocus settings on the D500. Hopefully you'll enjoy that.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Welcome to this latest edition of WildlightTV. Today we thought we'd spend a little bit of time talking on the autofocus settings on the camera that I use. This was prompted by a question that was posted up in one of our previous videos. The first step really is autofocus. I almost never use manual focus, so I always set the camera to autofocus. Some of the older bodies you can select on the switch continuous autofocus or single shot autofocus. I put it on continuous. With this body we then select continuous autofocus by pressing the button and scrolling. So we scroll the rear wheel to select continuous autofocus, scroll the front wheel, and then there I'd choose 25 area or 72 area dynamic autofocus. So that's the basic autofocus setup on the camera body. The next step is to set in the menu system. So we go into the custom menu setting and into the autofocus part of that. The first step is to make your AFC or autofocus continuous priority selection on release. And that basically will let the camera shutter release regardless of whether the object is in focus. And that's important with continuous autofocus, because otherwise you continue being blocked on the shutter. Even if a shot is sharp enough, it may not release. So have the setting on release. The next important point is the AF activation, which is custom setting AF8 on the Nikon D500. And we want that to be set to AF on only. And what that means is that we use the AF on button at the back of the camera there for autofocus. So when the button is pressed, the camera is continuously autofocusing. If you want to do a single shot focus, you just hold the sensor over the subject, press the button to focus and then release. You can then recompose. So that gives you all the benefits of single shot autofocus without having to change the settings. It completely separates focus from shutter release. So I use my thumb to focus, whether it's on a static subject to focus and recompose, whether it's on a moving subject to hold the sensor over a bird in flight and continue focus on it as it moves, and then use the front finger just to release the shutter. So it completely separates focus and picture taking and gives you complete control over the autofocus of your camera. With a single setup in the body, you then control it single or continuous on your thumb, shutter release on the finger. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to this. Some people need to work on it for a few days, others take to it very intuitively. And for me it's completely automatic. If I focus, my thumb's working. If I'm taking shots, my index finger's working, and it becomes a very smooth way of working and gives you complete control over focus. So hopefully there's some tips that you'll find useful. It works really well for me, and even though it takes a little bit of practice to get used to, I think it's a huge step forward in being able to control exactly what you want in the photographic process. So hope that was enjoyable, informative, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Remember to subscribe if you want to keep track of what we're up to. All the best.